been speaking to many people involved in music and in the music industry. The singers, the songwriters, the entertainers. I've got a gentleman who's been involved in music and has a great passion for music for many years at this stage. He's originally from Sharkock in County Cavan, now living in Kingscourt, and he's written and recorded a song which is going an absolute storm at the moment. I'm delighted to say a big hello to David Cadden. David, how are you?
Hello, Jerry. I'm absolutely brilliant. Thanks for having me on.
A real pleasure, David, a real pleasure. Tell me this, you've got a long background in music.
I do, Jerry, yeah. I started out originally as what people would call a balladeer, doing Irish kind of sessions and rambling house, which is something very common here in Ireland, where you go and visit different venues on a weekly basis and perform maybe one or two songs unaccompanied, you know. So that's where I originally started off doing balladeer, singing lots of the Dubliners kind of music and old kind of folk songs and everything, yeah.
Right, now you started at that, and now then you went on actually, and you became a member of a group.
Yes, well, before I became a member of the group, I was asked to accompany a very good guitar player called Fintan McManus from Belturbet in County Cavan, originally from Enniskillen. So I did a couple of years with him. We went around Cavan Town and we done a lot of gigs in Cavan Town and Virginia and all around the north, east of the country, you know what I mean? So doing a lot of Irish folk and ballad kind of music, along with Martin Donoghue, an accordion player. So that took me up until about 2010. About that, so we were kept busy at that, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I went off and started doing my own solo stuff up in Dublin. I became very kind of popular up in the Dublin area, singing in pubs like Foggy Jew, O'Donoghue's, doing all the Dubliner kind of Luke Kelly songs and stuff like that. So that kind of kept me very busy. But to cut a long story short, not recent, but the last 5 years, I've been involved with a band called the Readabee, where we play the Northeast region again. And up until the point of the COVID-19, we were doing very well. We were gigging every week and people wanting more gigs from us. But, you know, we tried to keep as many venues as happy as possible. But the Readabees was started up by a man called Jerry O'Connor, a good friend of mine and a work colleague. And he set up the band and, you know, got us on board and stuff like that, you know.
Right, excellent stuff. Well done on the success of that. But since lockdown, you've managed to become creative, and you've actually written a song inspired by your, I believe it's a godchild.
Yes, it's my godson Reuben who inspired me to write that song. Really, what happened was with COVID-19 came, everything stopped, all the live gigs stopped, but obviously the music doesn't stop. You know, you play it at home on your own, or you know, you play with your friends via the Zoom or WhatsApp Messenger or whatever, so you keep the music alive. But I have always in the past written songs and poems and things like that, but nothing as special as this or that meant as much as this to me. So the name of the song is called Life, and it's about Reuben and the effect that Reuben, my godson, has had on me and has on me, and not being able to see him during the lockdown. I just wanted to document that moment in time, and I knew like there'd be hundreds of thousands of people out there with the same issue as I had, not being able to see maybe their daughters or their nieces or nephews or their grandparents or their mothers or fathers. So Reuben, in essence, could be anybody. Reuben could be anything or anyone. And I thought that, you know, this was a very important song that if I could get this out, you know, it'd be brilliant. It would document a moment in time. It would get people kind of, because it's a happy kind of uplifting song, it would get people singing along, and it would also, in the future, tell Reuben, he's only 1 year, 7 months, but in the future it would tell Reuben how much he meant to me during that period of time.
That is a fantastic story. It really is, and I think when hopefully all of COVID-19 is long gone, the song will last, and I'm sure he will be absolutely fascinated by it. The fact that the fact you wrote the song. I must say it's a different sort of a style of song. I certainly haven't heard it before. It's definitely a great air to it. Where did it come from?
Yeah, but you see, the air just came. I don't know how it came into my mind or anything like that. It just literally one afternoon. I was sitting in my little office kind of room that I have, and I was just humming melodies and stuff, and this came to me, and I said, God, where have I heard that before? Have I heard it before? And of course, any singer-songwriter kind of checks through, just to make sure, have I heard? And I hadn't, and it just came, and I had this feeling about it that it was something different. And I had the words already about what Ruben meant to me, that kind of a way. So I was kind of trying to put music to the words, you know what I mean? And it all kind of came together. And all I could think of is an influence that I've had in the past. Like I would be a very big fan of the Saw Doctors and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And that kind of Saw Doctors feel came through the song. And that's really where it all came from. But it was really catchy. And I found myself walking around, humming the tune in my head. And I said, right, that's it. I'll have to work on this, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget about it, or something will happen and it'll be put to one side. And all I'll have is the words, and I won't have the music. So, and with the help of Tony Riley from Kingscourt, he helped me put the arrangement together, and it got more structure to it. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of thanks from Tony. He helped me out there too. But the original rhythm guitar, the guitar work, and the words and everything, it just came from me in that moment in time. So, like, it was as if it was meant to be, that kind of way.
Well done on it. Tony Riley, of course, is a gentleman who's related to Ellen Tinley and Ben Troy, and he also does work with Marty Moan, amongst many others.
He does, yeah. He puts in some amazing work, so he does. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't like too much fuss med or anything like that, but he is an absolute genius, and a very accommodating kind of a man, with everything with COVID-19 and everything. Like, he was so professional. He done everything at a distance, that kind of a way. And he talked to me for days before on the phone, and saying like, this is the way this is going to work, because it's not going to be like what it used to be before COVID-19. We're going to have to do things remotely, and it was an interesting time putting it down, getting it onto a CD form. You know what I mean? But he said he was happy. He said the song was something, we had something there and people will relate to it, and that it cheer people up, because, he said that's what people needed. And I said, I agree with you, Tony. I think we need to put this song out. I think people will you don't have to think too much about the song. The words explain itself, and it gives you that little bit of a go, and, and that's what people, I think, are looking for. You know what I mean?
Indeed, it certainly has. And tell me, have you any other songs written?
I have, Jerry, but not ready for the public yet. I have them. This song, this one has taken up my whole time for the last 2 to 3 weeks. But I do have other songs in the pipeline ready, along the same, kind of upbeat kind of a song. I have another song that I'm writing at the moment called Blue Sky. So, and that's to do with the whole clouds clearing and, the whole post-COVID-19. If we get to that point, if everybody adheres to the social distancing and everything, hopefully, we'll get to that point after COVID-19. And there is another song, in the pipeline,
Well done. That's absolutely excellent. So, that's how you've been kind of spending your time during the lockdown.
Yeah, like every artist out there at the minute, there is nothing much more we can do, only keep the music alive, keep creativity alive. I'm not a very good person on social media, like for Facebook or anything like that, but I do appreciate that this is the way things work now, and to keep in contact with people who may have loved listening to you sing while you're in the pubs and everything, or in the music venues and things like that, but they can't hear you anymore, and they missed a bit of crack and they missed a bit of dancing and stuff like that. So you have to be aware that the new form now is social media, YouTube, which my song is out on YouTube. You can find it, live. It's there to be found on YouTube. People can still hear me sing. So I know that that's the way to go. And every artist is at that at the moment. And it's tough, but, we will keep the music alive.
Indeed. And well done. I'll have to say, David, having, I've said this before to other singers, having looked at some of the live streams and seeing the figures for many, for singers, there are television channels would be only too delighted to have the actual viewing numbers that, some people have on doing Facebook Live. It is astounding.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. And I've only, in the last while become aware of all of this because I was too busy out gigging live, you know what I mean, and busy with that, you know what I mean. And then, with the lockdown came, then your show, Jerry, irishmusic.org, it's an amazing show. Like I didn't even know that my aunts and uncles and everybody were listening to that, that's how they were getting their music, And I should be, as a singer, as a songwriter, I should be aware of these things. But as I said before, online, everything like that was just it was an unknown for me. And then I seen your show and the people that it reaches and the amount of people that message you and send in how an important job the online world of streaming is doing, a positive thing, like your show, presenting a message to people, giving them that lift during the day of music, and the odd little message here and there, people, it's a wonderful side of the online thing, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do, David. I do indeed. It is astounding, and I think particularly with lockdown, everything streaming, has just exponentially increased. I mean, before lockdown, not too many people heard about Zoom. Now everybody knows about Zoom. It's also, all the streaming services of films, music, and everything like that has just exponentially gone through the roof since that. Because
it totally has, yeah. And as you know, Jerry, you're a Cavan man yourself, you know what I mean? Our internet connection sometimes isn't the best over here in Ireland, in Cavan especially. And the whole Zoom thing, because trying to keep in contact with friends and everything, that just opened up another world of of trouble as well, because connections breaking down and everything. But as things are improving, people are learning a lot of lessons. A lot of tech companies are learning a lot of lessons and how important access to the internet is for people, especially in a COVID-19 situation where no live shows can be done anymore on telly, like the big shows, the big TV stations and everything. But now people can more relate to shows like yours, Jerry. It feels more personal. It feels like I can get in contact with Jerry. I can send him my request easier than ringing up a radio station and hoping that they might get to me at some stage. You know what I mean? A lot more time can be given to the consumer now.
Yes, that is one thing about it. Yes, it is. It is a totally different thing. And I actually think there's possibly at this stage there's really no turning back. I think the way it was before with all of that, I think, is possibly at this stage gone. And I think it is gone to a more personal thing. And I think it is, that the online world sort of as at this stage has just totally taken over.
It has, yes, and hopefully for the good,
Indeed so. And now, of course, I think one of the things you're saying in there are areas in Cavan and indeed in other counties notorious for poor internet connection. But one thing about it which I think has helped is people have smartphones, and the phones, you're using your data on it, and that also helps to keep people in contact if they haven't actually got good broadband.
Definitely, yeah. And just with talking about the phones and things like that, if we didn't have those phones during the COVID-19, how lonely the world would have been. You know what I mean? How lonely people would have been. And we used to complain about the phones, and we still do. The phones do take up a lot of people's times, and in bad ways too. But if we didn't have those phones or that smart technology and your own data, how would I have kept in touch with my parents? How would you have kept in touch with your family in Ireland, So yeah,
that's exactly. Yes, that is exactly that is exactly the thing, and I think something that I think we've all got to remember about the phones is it really isn't just a telephone. It is a computer.
It is, yes.
So that's
definitely is, yeah.
Definitely.
And a computer that can be used to keep so many people closer together, that kind of way, when used correctly.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so true. David, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you. I wish you all the success in the world with the song Life, which is going a storm at the moment, and also your upcoming work. It's been lovely to catch up with you.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you, Jerry. Now, Life was only released this Monday, so let's see what the future holds for the song Life. But hopefully it brings a lot of joy to people. And I just want to say a big thank you to Jerry O'Connor, who is, a very important person in my life, with the band, on the band side of things, the real beats. But, he's a good friend, and he encouraged me to get this song out, and I want to thank my mom and dad and, and everybody else who encouraged me, to push this song at this moment in time. And, and a big hello to Ruben if he's listening in. In the years to come, he might be able to find this interview online and he'll say, well, that was my godfather, and he tried to do a little bit of good.
Excellent stuff, David. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you, Jerry, and I hope to talk to you again soon, and I wish you all the success in the world with your new with your station. I know it's out there for as many as a year, but it's doing a lot of good for people, not only in the UK and Ireland, but all over the world, because it can be streamed all over the world, and you're doing wonderful work. Really appreciate it.